Never, ever, ever act from a place of desperation. Even if you are objectively desperate, never show it, especially in business. It never reads well. It never extracts the sympathy that you think it might extract. It doesn't serve you on any positive dimension. It just doesn't. And so don't bother with it. Eat it up, internalize it, do with it what you want, but don't show it. Don't externalize it. When it comes to business, it doesn't matter how well or how poorly you're doing. You cannot show weakness because it will always be used against you, always. So always fake it until you make it. Always posture as something that you might not be. And so if a business deal doesn't feel right to you, don't look at your bank account. Look at your inner guide. Look at your intuition. It doesn't matter if you need the money. Respect yourself, and the universe will respect you in return. And anyways, why would you want to build a business based off of a body of work that you didn't even want to do or didn't feel right about doing? That's not success. I don't care what the dollar amount is. There's no success there. There's nothing to be proud of. Build your success based off of dignity, based off of what you know intuitively will make God happy and make you happy. If something doesn't feel right, it isn't. It's a hard way to look at things, but it has served me very well. My intuition doesn't often mislead me. And I think if you listen real closely to yours, you'll find the same thing. It's there for a reason. Even if in the short term it looks like it wasn't the right decision, just stay patient. Stay patient and wait and see. Don't be disappointed by short-term loss. Be motivated by long-term gain, because it will come if you stick to your guns and you don't neglect your intuition. Just don't do it. I know it's not very scientific, but I think the closer that you analyze something, the more you realize just how little you actually know about it. And so that's where extra senses kind of come into play, when you have to really depend on them more than you'd like to. You have to be open to the possibility that there is more at play than just your left-brained analysis of the situation. You have to, at the very least, be open to that idea. Maybe not embrace it fully, but don't shut it off completely. Be open to the idea that something more is at play when it comes to success in your life. Be receptive to it. Have fun with it, too. If you think that you're seeing signs and signals in this world that are pointing you in a direction, a positive direction, find the fun in that. And thank the universe for it. Thank God for it, because it is coming from God. Just open yourself to the idea that something divine is at work, because it translates into results. And ask just about anybody who's meaningfully successful if they agree. I promise you most of them will say they agree. Always leave an edge case for those that don't, but I think you'll find most successful people believe something higher was at play when they found their success, and they don't take full credit for it, because they know they got some extra assistance from somewhere else, somewhere far away, but also not too far away. Rip apart this idea that you are entirely in control of the outcome. Accept the fact that something extra might be guiding your hand, might be guiding your feet, and might be playing around in the driver's seat. Don't be too fearful of it. Like I said earlier, never show fear or hesitation or weakness. And that also applies to these extra-dimensional creatures. At a certain point, you find that coincidences are no longer coincidences. A preponderance of coincidences is no longer that. It's something more. And you're allowed to define it as such, even if others don't agree with you on it. Not only is life more rewarding and beautiful when you open yourself to these ideas, but it becomes more manageable when you take a step away from the driver's seat once in a while, acquiesce to something divine. Now, don't go on and invite in anything that shouldn't be there. But don't be surprised when things start changing in your life shortly after calling on God. In business, there are always difficult choices, and it's never obvious what the answer is. When you work for yourself, it is very rare to encounter an easy fork in the road to decide which option is the better one. Especially the more that you overanalyze things, it just becomes harder and harder to make a decision. And you learn through a series of decisions that at some point you kind of just have to make the call and not overthink it. And that's the only reasonable way forward. Because you can spend all day dwelling on what ifs and did I really make the right decision? It doesn't matter if you made the right decision or not. Think of it this way. There's a carbon copy of you in some distant parallel reality who made the other decision. Let them experience the consequences of that call and imagine what it might have been like. But at least in this version of your reality, that's the decision that you made and you're going to have to find peace with it. It's not a big deal. There is an infinite multiplicity of realities where we make different decisions. This just happens to be the one that you're in right now, and there's nothing to fear. It's no better and no worse than others. It might look like it when zoomed in upon, but when you zoom out, all these realities are the same. And they're all interesting for their own reasons. And this reality is interesting. So don't regret the decision that you just made, even if in the short term it feels wrong. View it as an interesting decision. It was interesting what you did, and interesting it shall remain. Get excited about the butterfly effect, the fact that you can't fully know or measure the future outcomes of your choice. That's the thing about people. They don't see the fun in things anymore. There's fun in little things. You have the choice to look at things as a fun activity if you want, and you have the choice to enjoy the feeling and the sensation of it. Don't just default to what your body wants to feel from a decision that you made. You can choose to feel good about a decision in the blink of an eye. Just give it a shot. I'm serious. Right now, think of the last decision you made that was a bad decision in your definition, and then just think positively about it. Reshape it. Reframe it. Think of how it might have been a good decision, the right decision, and fill yourself with positive emotions as you think about it. Because you can do that, you know. You can flood your body with positive sensation, with positive chemicals, if you just think about it hard enough. I've done it all the time. It's just a conscious effort. You got to be conscious about it. But you can do it, and you can delude yourself into thinking a decision was the correct one. And maybe you should, for the sake of your own sanity. Who's it hurting? It's not. You're allowed to feel good about whatever you want to feel good about, even if others disagree. If you feel positively about something, go right ahead. It's not illegal. Not yet, anyway. Now, objectively, on the bigger picture, plane of existence, it might have been a bad decision for the sake of others. It might have harmed people and done this or that, and that's unavoidable. But you can feel the way you want to feel about any single decision in this life. Now, by no means am I telling you to go off and commit some serious injustice and then feel good about that choice. No, not at all. What I'm saying is, if you've already made a choice that you don't feel good about, you can change that to feeling good about it. It's your choice, and it's worth playing around with. Because a lot of choices in this world, it is not obvious after making that choice whether it was right or wrong. Some choices are pretty obviously right, pretty obviously wrong. But a lot of the time, you're going to be faced with choices that have no clear outcome and no clear trajectory. And really, those are the choices that I'm speaking about the most here in this video. The less certain ones, the gray areas. Did I make the right call there, ethically, morally? Those are the ones that you can and should reframe in your mind and feel good about. For the sake of your own sanity, of course. It's not selfish. It's looking out for yourself so that you can be a better servant in this world to those you love. It's not selfish to do things like that. Always look out for your own mental health in whatever way that you can. And I realize this video started out as a business one, and it rarely ends that way, does it? I usually find myself in some weird esoteric territory, and that's fine. That's where my mind chooses to go. It's not a big deal. If there's anything you take away from this video, I want you to understand that overthinking decisions doesn't serve anybody. Sure, you should analyze the pros and the cons of a decision if it's a real important one, but you can never dwell too long on any one decision. It doesn't serve anything. Act decisively, confidently, and jerry-rig yourself into feeling good about the decision. Because why not? The choices we make may define us to the outside world, but they don't have to define our inner world. Not if we don't want them to. And always remember that. You're the one in control of how you feel about everything in this world. And frankly, it might be the only thing you're in control of. So I'll talk to you later.